Hi everyone, a very good afternoon to you. Welcome to the Hungaroring. Here we are just around about 30 minutes north of Budapest, here for the next round of the Ferrari Challenge, having already visited Valencia, Monza. We are here in Budapest for round number 3. So looking forward to this on this phenomenal circuit here at Budapest. Some 4.381 kilometers. And that's our location across the map. All the information, of course, races.ferrari.com. That's where you can find out all the information that you could possibly want to know with regards to the Ferrari Challenge. People here to enjoy the race action to come. The first is going to be the Trofeo Pirelli on track. 4.3 kilometer circuit then, as I mentioned. 14 turns, 8 right, 6 left-handers. And it's very, from the home straight, you go very downhill here at the Hungaroring circuit. Air temperature some 30 degrees, track temperature 42 degrees. Beautiful weather conditions, less windy today than it was yesterday, that's for sure. And there you can see the grid assembled then, and the cars down there. One missing there is Bjorn Grossman, I think, from P5 on the grid. It was Daniel D'Amato, who has been supremely successful thus far, taking 2 wins out of 2 races at Monza, finds himself here in Budapest and puts the car on pole position once again with a blistering lap of 1:47.492. As you can see, winner of the 2 Monza races, as I mentioned. Just looking at the back end of the number 44 car of Jens Liebhauser, who's second fastest of the AM drivers. Champion AM last year was this man, number 92, Sam Smith, elevated to the pro category for this year, and he's the only other driver to have done a sub 1:48 time. As you can see 1:47.999 for Sam Smith. Very good qualifying from Sam, and he's P2 on the grid. Alessandro Bezzoni is going from P3. Welcome to Hungaroring. So super little shot there, indicating where we are. Hungaroring then in just north of Budapest. What a great circuit. And there you can see grid all assembled. Fabio Lima, the Octane 126 driver. His qualifying time gives him P4 on the grid for Fabio Lima then. Former GP2 champion, single-seater star. He goes from P4 on the grid. Behind him is fellow Octane 126 driver Bjorn Grossman. There is Philip Barron, who's the last of the pro drivers. He goes from P7 on the grid. A mix of pro and AM drivers in the Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli. And Barron is the last one of those 7 pro drivers that we have on track for today's race.
Hi, my name's Josh Cartu. I'm a Canadian Ferrari racing driver in the 2017 Ferrari Challenge Pirelli Series.
Josh is our pilot for this season of the Ferrari Challenge, 3rd race in the championship. I am Alessandro Lippi, team owner and owner also of the Ferrari Budapest. We are the official Ferrari dealership for Hungary. For us, this occasion is not only for a race, but was the occasion for the celebration of the 70th.
Budapest is a fantastic town. I moved here 5 years ago, and this is my first race actually at home here in the Hungaroring, and I'm very excited to do a good result. It's very exciting to be racing here. This is a Formula One circuit. I've been watching F1 here every year for many years, and to actually participate in a race here in a Ferrari is a dream come true. It's really an incredible circuit, very physical, very demanding, much more so than Monza. You're always in corners. You've got a blind left, which is very, very dangerous with lots of traffic, so we all have to take care and be careful. Ever since I was a boy, I dreamed about owning a Ferrari. Nowadays, I have a few of them, and now I'm racing in the Ferrari Challenge, which for me is an incredible dream. Enjoy the Ferrari Challenge race here in Budapest, and Forza Ferrari.
Thanks, Josh Cartu then. And he is an AM driver, and he is the third fastest of the AM drivers. Jens Liebhauser, he's always been on the podium in 2017. He's not the fastest of the AM drivers. We thought that was going to be the case because Martin Nelson had his fastest time taken away from him. Who's done really, really well in the AM category. There is the grid then: D'Amato, Smith, Vezzoni, Lima, then it's Grossman and Gagliardini rounding out the first three rows of the grid. Then we find Philip Barron, Martin Nelson, Jens Liebhauser, we were just talking about, Joshua Cartu, who we just saw, then it's Chris Froggatt and Tommaso Roca. Before we find Contini, Albuck, Overgaard, Robin Jensen, and then racing also in the former challenge car, the 458, is Ulcu. Pierre Nelson then goes from P18 on the grid, and bringing up the rear is Galapatar and Holger Harmsen in last year's Ferrari 458 cars. So we take a look at the number 93 car of Chris Froggatt, HRO and back to driver, who goes from P11 on the grid. Okay, race is about to get underway. Trofeo Pirelli race 1 about to get underway then. Oh, are we excited? Joshua Cartu now, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm concerned that Bjorn Grossman is missing off the grid. Just looking at that grid shot as we look at Contini here, who's going from P13. Ettore Contini then in car number 43. Sorry, my attention has just been drawn to the fact that there seems to be a car missing on the grid, and I think the car that's missing is the Octane 126 driver Bjorn Grossman. Get confirmation of that for you in a moment. Hello family, lovely to see you on TV. I'm very happy to be there as well. Enjoy the Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli race about to come. We're looking backwards from the Hublot safety car now, as the grid is being emptied of engineers and people, as we look at Alessandro Vezzoni, who's going from P3 on the grid. He's a pro driver. And we look from the Contini car then. Great onboard shot, and we'll bring you a number of onboard shots during the course of the race to come. 30 minutes of race action from Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli.
Another pole position, yeah. Here in Budapest, this track is very, very technical. The car was perfect. Thanks for the CDP team. Yes, yes.
Well, the CDP team then engineering a car that has given Daniel D'Amato pole position once again. Bear in mind, he comes here to the Budapest Hungaroring circuit, having taken 2 wins out of 2 starts at the Monza circuit. Certainly wouldn't bet against him taking win number 1 here at the Hungaroring. So we're off on the formation lap then. So a mix of pro drivers and AM drivers. The pro drivers you can identify from the white sunstrip atop the windscreen. The AM drivers, other drivers with the black sunstrip, and those that drive last year's 458 car right at the back of the grid have a blue sunstrip. Now, incidentally, just to give you some idea of the speed of this Ferrari 488 GTE car as we look at all the social media on the top of the screen. The best Ferrari Challenge 458 lap was a 1:49, and when you look at the qualifying time of Daniel D'Amato, it's a 1:47, so that's a full 2 seconds quicker. Well, there is the Bjorn Grossman car. Just appeared to be one car missing on the grid, and I thought it was Bjorn Grossman. Perhaps it's Fabio Lima that's missing. Don't know. There you can see is the no, that's the Ulco 243-458 car, isn't it? So I wonder if it is Bjorn Grossman that's missing. Okay, confirmation from Nico alongside me that we think Grossman is missing off the grid. The Octane 126 driver, as we look at car number 93, then that of Chris Froggatt, the UK star. And talking of UK stars, what a great job Sam Smith did in qualifying, putting his car on P2. He's the AM champion from last year. Beppe Scanetti then, the safety car driver, will pick the cars up now. It's always a rolling lap to start the Ferrari Trofeo Pirelli races. We're on board with Joshua Kartu then. A great interview with Joshua Kartu just at the start of the race. And based himself here in Budapest, and it's a dream come true for him to be on track. Ettore Contini that we looked at just a moment ago, and keep an eye on that Scuderia Autoropa number 70 car, the best of the AM drivers, Martin Nelson. I was explaining a bit earlier that when it came to qualifying, Jens Liebhauser had done the fastest lap for AMS because Martin Nelson had had his time taken away due to track limits issues. Ascertains that actually it wasn't the Martin Nelson car, it was another car that had gone out of the track limits, and therefore Martin Nelson has been put back into effectively being the fastest of the AM drivers as the cars make their way through turn number 13 now. Right at the back is Holger Harmsen. Okay, the tension and excitement begins to rise. Race 1 is on in moments from now. And we have a brilliant start from Daniel D'Amato. Sam Smith slots in ahead of Alessandro Vezzoni. Around the outside is taking a look Gagliardini, and there's contact between Gagliardini and Fabio Lima. That allows Philip Barron to go through. Philip Barron now is going to just slot in behind the car of Fabio Lima. So down through turn number 2, head towards turn number 3. Galapatar in one of the 458 cars with Per Nielsen there. So as they make their way uphill now towards the back of the circuit, D'Amato, Smith, Alessandro Vezzoni, then it's Lima, Barron and Andrea Gagliardini, who is currently running P6. Barron is looking very lively on the back of Fabio Lima. Both former single-seater stars. And there, right at the back, is the Holger Harmsen 458 car. We're watching these 488 GTEs make their way around this Hungaroring circuit on lap 1. Best of the AMS is Jens Liebhauser, who managed to get past Martin Nelson right at the start of the race. And there you can see Liebhauser and Nelson going through. D'Amato already with 1.7 seconds over Sam Smith. Extraordinary pace that Daniel D'Amato has with that CDB car. There's the best of the AM drivers, number 44, that's Jens Liebhauser. So they make their way around the final turn now. Philip Barron, of course, sandwiched between Fabio Lima and Andrea Gagliardini. In P5 is Philip Barron, as they head for the second time of asking for turn number 1, which is the right-hander, and then you head very, very downhill through turn 1A, which is like a little kink, and then it's a left-hander, which is turn 2, before the right-hander, which is turn number 3. Lima now beginning to reel in Alessandro Vezzoni, who is in that final podium place at the moment with 27 3/4 minutes of the race still to do. But D'Amato again with absolutely phenomenal pace, and problems for Martin Nelson in the number 70 car. Now, was there contact right at the start of the race? Martin Nelson has had 4 wins out of 4 starts in the AM category, and his car, he had strife and drama after qualifying because his fastest lap time was taken away for track limits issues, which actually were not him, it was the Robin Jensen car. So he had his fastest time given back to him, but now, well, the likelihood of making it 5 out of 5 has gone away now completely because Martin Nelson is in the pit lane. So the order then is Daniel D'Amato by a country mile, nearly 3 seconds ahead of the game of everybody else. Extraordinary driving, extraordinary car that CDP have engineered for Daniel D'Amato. Replay of the start then. Try and find out what happened to Martin Nelson here because he got mugged by Jens Liebhauser going into turn 1. At that point, he was still ahead. So Nelson turns in. Liebhauser has got the inside. Just maybe a little bit of contact between Liebhauser and Nelson. You can see there, just got pushed out a little bit. Oh, look at the squirmish front end of Fabio Leimer as they were 3 abreast. Alessandro Vezzoni and Fabio Leimer and Andrea Gagliardini. Here is our race leader then, who is up the road. Martin Nelson has rejoined on track, so hopefully whatever issues he's got with the car, he is back out on track, but sadly he is not going to make it 5 out of 5 in terms of AM wins for the Scuderia Autoropa driver. Philip Barron, who's currently running in P5, the order on the left-hand side of your screen is Philip Barron is the one that's made up 2 places from the start. Everyone else in the pro category have kind of stayed where they were. Now, the incident involving cars number 93 and number 70 is under investigation. Now, the number 93 car is that of Chris Froggatt. So whether later in the lap something happened between Chris Froggatt and Martin Nelson that we didn't see. And interestingly, Chris Froggatt is right at the back of the pack, so maybe so. Perhaps we'll get a replay of that later in the program, but certainly Martin Nelson and Jens Liebhauser were very, very close, but clearly there was another incident as well because our timing screen tells us that there was an incident between Chris Froggatt and Martin Nelson, and that is under investigation. So Philip Barron is the all-green machine driving for Rosso Corsa, being hounded by Andrea Gagliardini. They're P5 and P6 at the moment. Sam Smith is comfortable in P2, got great pace over Alessandro Vezzoni, but Daniel D'Amato is just, well, 8/100ths short of being 4 seconds up the road. Extraordinary pace, as I've mentioned, from the Daniel D'Amato car. So D'Amato, Smith, Vezzoni, then it's Leimer, Barron and Gagliardini, all the pro drivers together, and they've got something of 3.5 second margin over the best of the AMs, which is Jens Liebhauser. Here's the best of the pros though for CDP. It is Daniel D'Amato then. So I can remember way back when, used to race with his father Renato in the Ferrari Challenge. They used to share a car. Then he went off on a Solus effort and did very well, but he missed out on the Valencia rounds. But as soon as he got his bottom into the Ferrari 488 at Monza, he was going to be a force to be really reckoned with, and took 2 wins, 2 pole positions, 2 wins. Gagliardini now chasing down Philip Barron. Gagliardini is currently P6, Philip Barron is P5. There's the best of the AMs. Jens Liebhauser then, based in Austria, in car number 44, is actually P7 in the race overall, but the best of the AM drivers. There he is, in that interesting livery that Jens Liebhauser has adopted for the Ferrari 488 GTE for the 2017 campaign of racing. Crosses the sector line and heads down towards turn number 12, turns into turn 12 and up now towards the quite tight turn number 13. Take the car to the outside so you get the inside going round turn 13. Daniel D'Amato is already crossing the timing line and increases his margin. I mean, 1:49.897 was his last lap. Compare that with Sam Smith, who is in P2 and also out on his own. It was a 1:54.96 for Sam Smith. So it's 6/10 is the difference between the two of them in terms of race pace at the moment. So D'Amato, once again, reinforcing and placing his domination down in the Trofeo Pirelli category of the Ferrari Challenge. Races.ferrari.com, the website for all the information you could possibly need with regards to the Ferrari Challenge. Both Alessandro Vezzoni and Fabio Lima have opened up a bit of a gap over Philippe Barron in the all-green car that you can see here, who's being chased down by Gagliardini. Around goes the number 30 car of Joshua Cartu. You can see the damage to the front end of the Joshua Cartu car there. There was another one involved in that. Joshua Cartu, let's see what happened here. Well, to be honest, against Tommaso Roca, I'm not sure the gap was there for Josh really to be driving into, but he was almost on the grass as well, wasn't he? So both Joshua Cartu and Tommaso Roca turned around, but both have returned. And now there's further problems for the Tommaso Roca car, probably as a result of the contact between himself and Joshua Cartu, and that's why you could see the Rosso Corsa team looking none too impressed on their pit wall. And Joshua Cartu, then the Canadian racer that's based here in Budapest, and there is Renato D'Amato then watching Daniel then cross the timing line once again. A drive-through penalty immediately given to or not immediately given, because I'm reading the wrong number there. A drive-through penalty has been given to Chris Froggatt for the earlier incident that we've not seen between Chris Froggatt and Martin Nelson. Thought the drive-through penalty was coming there for Joshua Cartu, to be honest. And watch this space, because there's still time for that to potentially happen. Although there was nothing malicious in what Joshua was trying to do. Just the gap probably wasn't there. We've got 20 minutes of the race remaining. Fabio Lima then is the driver that's currently P4, but in the meantime, back to some of the AM battles a little bit further down the order. The number 73 car of Robin Jensen, and a drive-through penalty then for car number 30, Joshua Cartu, as predicted, if I'm honest. And there it is on screen for you. So here comes Chris Froggatt then in number 93. There is damage to the, I think, to the left-hand side of the car as you look at it on screen now. And he serves his drive-through penalty. Joshua Cartu, another one that's going to have to serve a drive-through penalty as well. As I mentioned, I don't think we saw live what happened between Chris Froggatt and Martin Nelson. Martin Nelson is back out on track again, but running in P18, regrettably. So the battle for P4 in AMS is between Contini and Jensen. Jensen at the moment is P4, Contini is P5. So Robin Jensen then, who had a torrid time of it in Monza, had an off during free practice. They sent another car down from Sweden. It didn't quite arrive in time for him to make it into race 1, but it was there for him to use in race 2. So Robin Jensen then upholding the Scuderia Autoropa honours, if you like, against the number 43 car of Ettore Contini. Getting that turn just a little bit wrong was the Ettore Contini car. Now, Andrea Gagliardini has been looking at the back end of the Philippe Barron car probably for a little bit too long now, but has not been able to find a way past Philippe Barron. So the battle for P5 between Andrea Gagliardini and Philippe Barron continues. Gagliardini furiously flashing his lights, trying to provoke a mistake from Philippe Barron so that he can wrestle away that P5 position, but nothing doing as of yet. And of course, this is played into the hands of Fabio Lima on the back of Alessandro Vezzoni, because Philippe Barron unable to chase down Vezzoni. He's too busy having to defend against the number 20 car of Andrea Gagliardini. Fabio Lima now getting closer to Alessandro Vezzoni, which is the battle for the final pro podium place. Battle for P3 that's going on, and then And the battle for P5, as you can see, between Gagliardini and the all-green machine of Philip Barron. So Lima takes quite a lot of curb there. Let's see them through turn 13. Fabio Lima will start to set up a potential move now on Alessandro Vezzoni. Takes a different line around at turn number 14, does Fabio Lima. Vezzoni will floor it now, so too will Fabio Lima. Has Fabio Lima just got a little bit of superior momentum off the turn 14 exit? No, nothing like close enough to be able to have a go going into turn number 1. They run downhill, continue to go downhill around turn number 1. The little kink is turn 1A before it's the left-hander, which is turn number 2. I would say that's the Chris Froggatt car because it's the FF Corsa team attending to that. Sure, I'm right. It's the number 93 car of Chris Froggatt. Again, Fabio Lima really reeling in Alessandro Vezzoni. It's all very well being as quick. You've got to find a way past. Sam Smith out on his own, really, who's running in P2. But listen to this. He's running in P2, 7.5 seconds behind the race leader, Daniel D'Amato. So Lima once again. And here's Barron and Gagliardini getting as close as the battle between Lima and Vezzoni. Almost into the second half of the race, and just taking a look at the inside then was Fabio Lima. This is the battle for P3. Alessandro Vezzoni is in the red and black machine, and Fabio Lima in the all-white car. Vezzoni with the inside line, but runs just a little bit wide, and then off the circuit. That's, well, Fabio Lima. He just kept the pressure on. Eventually, Vezzoni made a mistake. So Fabio Lima becomes P3 now. And Gagliardini's hoping to do exactly the same with Philip Barron. And now I would suggest that Fabio Lima has got past Alessandro Vezzoni. He'll have superior pace, and he's got Sam Smith 3 and a bit seconds up the road. There is time for Fabio Lima to get onto the back end of Sam Smith, potentially, because they're both lapping at exactly the same time, 1:51.3.5s for the both of them. This in replay then. Sold him a bit of a dummy, didn't he, towards the outside. Vezzoni carried a bit too much speed, was then unable to turn in correctly. And there's Fabio Lima now, having got past Alessandro Vezzoni, is up the road now after Sam Smith. Whoa. Gagliardini taken to the runoff area and a bit of the grass as well in his quest to try and find a way past Philip Barron. Hasn't been able to do so. Oh, takes a look at the inside, and as close can be between the two of them around the back end of the circuit, heading back towards the uphill section for Philip Barron and Andrea Gagliardini. Last time around for Andrea Gagliardini, a terrible time for him at Monza with 2 DNFs effectively. He'd taken P3 in race 2 at Valencia in the opening round, but desperately wants to get his charge back on track. Although at the moment, on the pace that he is showing, D'Amato is proving to be utterly invincible. 7.8 seconds up the road of Sam Smith, who is P2, exactly 3 seconds ahead of the chasing Fabio Lima, who has now managed to get past the Alessandro Vezzoni car. So the margin between them is, well, just a shade under 6/10 between Philip Barron and Andrea Gagliardini. I just wonder whether Gagliardini's dialing out of it for a moment to let the brakes and tyres just cool down a little bit before having a final charge over the remaining 13 minutes of this race. Both of them have been working really hard. Philip Barron in defence and Andrea Gagliardini in attack. Well, there's me saying that Gagliardini runs really wide now. He's been over the track limits there for the second time on consecutive laps that we've seen. and he just has to dial out of that because he was carrying so much speed to avoid contact with the back end of the Philip Barron car. Barron is driving very sensibly here. He's putting the green Rosso Corsa 488 GTE exactly where Gagliardini doesn't want it to be, but lap after lap after lap, Philip Barron has sussed exactly where Gagliardini is prepared to have a go and makes sure that he puts it in exactly the right place to deny any opportunity. Very good driving from both of these drivers, Philip Barron and Gagliardini. The best of the 458s at the moment is Galopata, who is running in P13 in the race overall, but is the best of the 458 drivers. There is Martin Nelson, who is running down there in P17. 8th or 9th in the AM category, which he'll be bitterly disappointed with. The gap between Galopata then and Ulcu, who is the second of the 458s. Well, Galopata, who in the 458 category of the Ferrari Challenge this year has had 3 P2 places. Didn't finish in the, rather was excluded from the result of the last race at Monza. There is Ümit Ulcu, the Octane 126 driver, driving last year's Ferrari 458. Holger Harmsen in the Lise G liveried yellow 458 behind. Here is our race leader then, Daniel D'Amato, still 7.5 seconds ahead of Sam Smith, who in turn is having his margin eroded somewhat by Fabio Lima, who last lap was almost a full second faster than Sam Smith. So I did say that there was enough time on the clock for Fabio Lima to at least get on terms with Sam Smith. There's Jens Liebhauser, leader in the AM category for Gome Motorsport. D'Amato's Sector 2 time, a 42.4, compared with Smith and Lima, who were both 41s. Car number 20 exceeding the track limit at turn number 7. At car number 20 is Andrea Gagliardini. Well, we've seen that happen a few times, haven't we? So just keep an eye on the Sector 3 time as well to see whether Daniel D'Amato is beginning to lose time. Here's the incident between Martin Nelson. No, I beg your pardon, it isn't. It's Martin Nelson getting past the number 19 car of Per Nielsen now. Here comes Gagliardini on Philip Barron. Hasn't been able to do it. Philip Barron has been stoic in his defence. He really has, and he's held off that Gagliardini car. And you can see Gagliardini's car is now getting away with it. He's pushed it so hard that he is seeing tyre dead greater than that of Philip Barron. Now again, Daniel D'Amato was slower last lap, but it was a 51.5 for Sam Smith. It was a 50.7 for Fabio Lima. He's the one that's really on a charge now, as much on a charge as Andrea Gagliardini is here, as he's continuing to chase down Philip Barron, but unsuccessfully thus far. Actually then, and I could see that coming, he just lined the car up through the chicane perfectly, and Philip went to dive into it and couldn't because the Gagliardini car was already in the gap. Now, whether that was a mistake by Philip not being quite soon enough on the turn-in, but Gagliardini has gone through. So Gagliardini is now P5, Philip Barron is P6. That was a great, ambitious move. Let's see it again. Yeah, you could just see how Philip Barron was about to try and turn in, and he just put the car exactly where he needed to do. Philip did not see that one coming, and Gagliardini moves up to P5. He took a fair bit of curve on the exit of the chicane, that's for sure, but here is Daniel D'Amato then, a 151.6 last time. And D'Amato losing time in the middle sector. Perhaps it's a tyre deg affecting that car as well. He's certainly not as quick as he once was, and he's seen his margin eroded slightly. Say eroded slightly. He's still got 7 seconds up the road before there. You can see Sam Smith, who is P2 and who is now being chased hard by Fabio Lima. Sam Smith had a real good margin, but that margin is down to under a second now. In fact, it's down to 5/10 or just under 6/10 between this man, Fabio Lima, and this man, Sam Smith. Did a brilliant job in qualifying, putting the car P2. He was one of only he and Daniel D'Amato that did sub 150 times. And now he's chased down by former single-seater star Fabio Lima. And Smith is going to have to use everything that he's got now to make that FF Corsa engineered 488 as wide as possible now to protect his P2 position against Fabio Lima. Around turn 14 the cars come now. Sorry, turn 13, heading towards turn number 14 now. And this is where Fabio Lima starts to try and set up a move going into turn number 1. So Fabio Lima beat one of our Ferrari GT drivers, Sam Bird, who of course was racing in Le Mans just last weekend, to the GP2 Championship some years ago, and now finds himself driving in the Ferrari Challenge and is, well, within a tenth of Sam Smith. Both of them getting ever closer to Daniel D'Amato, but D'Amato has still got 6.8 seconds of a margin out front. Should be enough to see him through. So Smith, Lima, this is the real battle for podium place 2 in the pro category between Sam Smith and Fabio Lima. Now, car number 20, I am being told, which is Andrea Gagliardini, is being told to give the position back to Philip Barron. You'll note that I mentioned as they exited that chicane that Gagliardini went right off. Now, in my view, I think that's quite hard because I think the overtake was done by then. But, in fairness, if Gagliardini was not able to make the exit of the turn, so he's got to give his P5 position back to Philip Barron. That will not sit well. In the AM category, the standings are Liebhauser, 10 seconds. Then it's Overgaard and Albuk, who is new into the Ferrari Challenge. And look at this, Gagliardini, you can see how much quicker he is than Philip Barron. He's opened up a huge gap because he's chasing down Alessandro Vezzoni now. But his team will be telling him that he's got to give, well, I wonder whether his team will be telling him that he's got to give that position back, or whether they'll try and negotiate with the race director after the race. We will see. But inevitably, Gagliardini is quicker. But in fairness, would he have been able to make the turn? Well, he wasn't able to make the turn, and therefore, if he'd have kept it within the white lines, and now Philip Barron coming back at him, and Philip Barron is going to have to take that place back. So Daniel D'Amato, the leader in the pro category, with 7.5 seconds of margin. And leader in the AM category is Jens Liebhauser, who is ahead of Christian Overgaard, and the leader in the 458 cars is Galapata. Smith then continues to show Fabio Lima a clean pair of heels. Just on 3 minutes left of the race, and indeed Gagliardini has done it. He's given the place back to Philip Barron. So now he will have another go. He will feel probably hard done by for that, but rules are rules. Will he have a go in the chicane once again? Although, just have a feeling that Philip will make that car sufficiently wide this time, and indeed he did. So, now both of them run onto the grass. 2.5 minutes of the race left to run. And And the drama, as always, in the Ferrari Challenge has come thick and fast. D'Amato comfortable with 7.5 seconds and is being matched in the sector times, though, by Smith and Fabio Lima, but not enough to. That's not enough to close that gap down, which is huge anyway. Just thought I saw a waved yellow there. There is Sam's. Lima is in trouble here because Sam Smith, who've just seen go through, bear in mind he was being chased hard by Fabio Lima. Lima is now behind Alessandro Vezzoni. Lima has got an issue. So Sam Smith then in P2. Now Fabio Lima has got the Philip Barron car right behind him, and there's also a problem there for the Chris Froggatt car. So Chris Froggatt, we saw in the pit lane, of course, having to take a drive-through penalty. Just wonder whether it was a right rear puncture, because the car appeared to be kicking up some dust from that part. Now, whatever issue Fabio Lima had, I mean, Sector 1 pace is good. Whether he made a mistake in the final sector, don't know. In the meantime, Barron has seen off the charge from Gagliardini for the moment. What's happened to Lima is that he's lost that podium place to Alessandro Vezzoni. That's why Lima was on the outside of Sam Smith. Thank you, Franco, our director, for throwing that replay in there. That's what happened to Fabio Lima. Went around the outside and actually ended up spinning the car. So we are on to the last lap as the CDP team, including Daniel D'Amato's father, look on. He's increased his margin now by another couple of seconds. It's now 9 seconds between himself and Sam Smith in P2. And Smith should be untroubled. And Galapatar with a problem in the 458. He's lost out to Umit Ulko. So there is Galapatar then. A backmarking car that Daniel D'Amato comes across now and gets past. Daniel D'Amato, barring disaster, is going to take the win in Trofeo Pirelli Pro with a significant margin and a supreme drive once again from the young star. And taking the win in the AMS is going to be Jens Liebhauser. So Daniel D'Amato then with the final few turns to do in this final lap of the 30-minute Trofeo Pirelli race from the Ferrari Challenge. CDP engineered, Daniel D'Amato driven. 488 GTE turbocharged car. Here he comes, 2 turns left to do, turn 13. For D'Amato, who floors it now and heads towards turn number 14. It'll be win 3 out of 3 races for Daniel D'Amato as he heads towards the checkered flag. Now, D'Amato takes the win. In the race overall and in the final stages, Fabio Lima tries to fight back against Alessandro Vezzoni and Philip Barron. This is for P3. Alessandro Vezzoni just holds on to it from Lima and Barron. Sam Smith, of course, was out on his own, taking P2. And Galapatar, of course, is a lap down on everybody else in that 458. Here comes Jens Liebhauser for the AM class. He will take the win in the AMS, followed by Christian Overgaard and Gerald Aubuck. So there is Fabio Lima. There is Jens Liebhauser. And Daniel D'Amato, the winner of the race overall. And there is the Chris Froggatt number 93 car, complete with the damage. And the number 43 car of Ettore Contini that you can see there. Martin Nelson, well, it has to be said, Martin Nelson has taken 4 out of 4 AM wins. However, one of those was by a sheer stroke of luck, because if memory serves, Jens Liebhauser ran out of fuel, I think, was running out of fuel towards the end and slowed. This, in the meantime, is the replay between these fighting three, Alessandro Vezzoni, Fabio Lima and Philip Barron. Well, some delight there. There's Tommaso Rocca, who, of course, sadly, we lost in the race. So Tommaso Rocca, Bjorn Grossman, I don't think actually came out. Had a crash in quali, and the car was not ready for the race, being told. So as Daniel D'Amato's girlfriend walks away, delighted with her partner's success once again, as he makes it 3 out of 3. They're in their separate categories, the top three: D'Amato, Smith and Vezzoni in Pro, Liebhauser, Overgaard, Albuk for AMS, and then Ulcu, Harmston and Attar in the 458s. Just below us, literally just below our commentary position here at the Hungaroring, Daniel D'Amato's car roars into the P1 position, and out he jumps. Bravo is the word. Another fine performance by Daniel D'Amato. So his race done and dusted. Of course, he'll have to qualify tomorrow for race 2 tomorrow. As we see Alessandro Vezzoni also congratulated, and there Sam Smith started P2 and finished P2. That was well deserved. Well done, Sam. Did a very, very good job in qualifying. Some fantastic pace. And there's Jens Liebhauser then. Two podiums to come then, the AM podium and the Pro podium. Sam Smith congratulated. So Sam Smith being congratulated and Alessandro Vezzoni being cooled. So the drivers will be ushered up to the podium in due course. Wonder if the last corner for Jens Liebhauser was a slight worry, because the last corner at Monza, where he didn't make it. So drivers being hustled together. As I mentioned, 2 podiums to come. One for the Pro drivers and then for the AMs. And big thumbs up from Tommaso Rocca. Sadly, his car in the tyres.
I learned from you.
So,
Can you say? No.
on their way up to the podium now. Jens Liebhauser on his way.
Congratulations. Good job, huh? Congratulations.
D'Amato, Smith, Bezzoni, the pro podium. The AM podium, Liebhauser, Overgaard, and Albuk. And a 458 win will go the way of Umit Tulkyu.
Chi ce la fa una foto?
Perché non mi staccano io?
Te la fa la televisione una foto.
Dai! Meglio che questa, che voi.
No, per noi, per ricordo per noi.
So the CDP team standing by, ready to welcome their star onto the top step of the podium, which is literally just alongside our commentary position here. In fact, if I had a slightly longer lead on the device, I could actually go out there and be part of the podium as well. There's Joshua Kartu then, making his way back down the pit lane now. And the CDP team patiently awaiting their driver to make his way up onto the top step, because the podium is what comes next here at Hungaroring. So Michele then bringing the drivers out onto the podium. There's Alessandro Bezzoni, Sam Smith then on the second step of the podium. And Daniel D'Amato, another extraordinary drive for the young man. Umit Ulku then, as I mentioned, is the best of the 458s. He also takes to the podium too. National anthem time. So national anthem plays out then as Mr. Antonello Coletta then makes the trophy presentation to Alessandro Bezzoni. So Philip Barron down there to watch the podium. Sam Smith receives his. And then on the top step of the podium, Daniel D'Amato. 3 wins out of 3 races. So Mr. Coletta then presents CDP with their trophy, and now here comes the 458. Umit Ulku takes the 458, and there is the Teo Meyer then making the Pirelli presentation as well. Well done, Teo. So everyone will get together for the photographs, and
together is a big podium for photo and video from Hungaroring.
so the first Hungaroring podium of the 4 races to come from the Ferrari Challenge, because we have a Copa Shell race to come a little bit later today. But of course we have another podium to do yet, and that is the podium for the AM drivers. Well, there the podium and champagne moment for the top three in the pros, D'Amato, Smith and Vezzoni. So they clear off from the podium, and the mop is made ready for Jens Liebhauser to be on the top step of the AM podium, which comes up in just a moment. Top three then in the pros, Alessandro Vezzoni. In car number 27, then of course for P2 in the pros, it was the all-yellow machine of Sam Smith with the Shire logo on the front. Stratstone Ferrari FF Corsa engineered Ferrari 488 GTE for Sam Smith. And then the CDP team's Daniel D'Amato, who once again was invincible in the third race of his Ferrari Challenge career this year, and has taken 3 wins out of 3 starts and 3 pole positions as well. So up next is the AM podium. Just before that, though, the Drivers' Championship, 68 points for D'Amato, 66 for Fabio Lima, and 61 for Philip Barron. Bear in mind, Daniel D'Amato, the top of the Drivers' Championship, having missed 2 races. Christian Overgaard looking very happy, so too Gerald Albuck, and here comes Jens Liebhauser to the top step of the AM podium. Here comes the trophy presentation then.
The trophy for the second round. And the trophy for the winner of Pirelli AM class, Jens Liebhauser.
So trophies all presented to the 1, 2, 3. And the Pirelli trophies presented as well. Here come the photographs, and then Jens will be the quickest, or will he be the quickest with the champagne, because of course he's got both hands full of trophy. Well, we will see. No, he's not going to be. Definitely going to be done by Overgaard in that little battle, isn't he? So there, both the podiums done for the pro drivers and also for the AM drivers. Next race then, as you can see, is the Copa Shell Race 1 to come at 13:35 GMT. Ferrari Challenger Copa Shell Race is up next.
Yeah, very good.
It's very proud.
Yeah. You can be proud.
Yeah, you can be proud. Nice to listen into some of those conversations going on. So there is the beautiful Hungaroring circuit. It's very undulating. You can see the elevation changes from here to down to the back of the track as we take a look at the top 3 in the AM category. The winner was Jens Liebhauser for GOM Motorsport, and also the 458 there. Actually, it's not Ulku that you can see. That's actually the car of Galapatar. But I can assure you the winner of the 458 category was Umit Ulku. And there, Jens Liebhauser celebrating on the top step of the podium. Lovely trophies here at the Hungaroring circuit from both the Ferrari Challenge and also from Pirelli as well. Some beautiful trophies with the circuit depicted on the design of those. In the AM Championship, Martin Nelson still leads on 88 points, but Martin Nelson with a non-points finish, and Jens Liebhauser taking the win. He gets his total up to 75 points. Let's take a look at the highlights of the race. As the lights went green, then Daniel D'Amato without a mistake at the start, as Christian Berchinger from Octane 126 looked on and saw that his car, Fabio Lima, was involved then with just a little crunch together. So in the early stages of the race, everyone was prepared to have a go. Joshua Cartu, perhaps over-ambitious. That saw the end of the race for the Rosso Corsa driver, Tommaso Roca, and Rosso Corsa none too happy about that. Fabio Lima and Alessandro Bezzoni fighting very, very hard together. Fabio Lima then would get the better. Philip Barron and Andrea Gagliardini were fighting the whole way. Daniel D'Amato's father on the pit wall could see his son doing a fantastic job. Eventually Gagliardini did get past Philip Barron, but he wasn't able to make the turn. Therefore, he was asked to give the position back to Philip Barron, which is what he had to do. Jens Liebhauser was dominant in the AM category, and there Gagliardini did give the position back to Philip Barron. Nothing to give back, though, for Daniel D'Amato, who took his third win out of 3 starts in Trofeo Pirelli Pro category for the Ferrari Challenge, and it was the win for Jens Liebhauser in the AM category. So there we have it, Trofeo Pirelli done and dusted, which saw the backmarking Galipatar car crossing the line then. And there we have it, done and dusted. Make sure you join us for Copachel and also for Trofeo Pirelli Race 2 tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.